Good morning, Bix Weir, roaddoer.com with your morning Horn of Z's. I gotta change it to Horn of Z's and Chaga on my mug. Yes, chaos has hit. If you've been on the road to Rooter long enough, you know that in any market you look at, any market, any exchange, Steve Mnuchin and whoever's at the Fed at the moment can click a mouse and put the price of anything to $0 or $1,000,000 with the click of a mouse. That's why it's so important to keep your assets in your own possession. Don't even look at the price and wait for the end of this criminal activity. Anyway, I don't know what the Dow's worth in fiat dollars. Nobody does. It's all a game. It's rigged. But hopefully people can see through it. Most people cannot. They won't be able to see through it until the markets stop. And that's coming up. It is coming up that the Dow, the New York Stock Exchange, the bond market, the metals markets, all markets will just stop trading. Now, they can place the price of everything at $0 with the click of a mouse and stop trading. Or they can click the mouse at $1,000,000, like Bitcoin. They're slamming it right now, but literally you can put it at $0 by just executing unlimited sell orders on these criminal exchanges because they don't trade cryptos. They trade derivatives. They don't really trade anything, but same with the stock market, the bond market, every single market. That's what Alan Greenspan invented in the 1960s and 70s. Computer market rigging. Brilliant guy. Completely off his rocker to drag this on for so long, but that's what his country asked of him. And that's what he did. He implemented the first computer programs to rig the markets. Now the banksters have taken them over. Steve Mnuchin uses it every day through the Exchange Stabilization Fund. You don't even need a fund. There is a fund, yes. They report a little bit. I think it's $100 billion they throw around. But they don't report any derivatives, and that's what is being traded, derivatives. That's all that's being traded. So the Dow, in dollar terms, the Dow should be probably 500,000 because they're printing a hell of a lot more dollars than they tell us also. It's all a game. It's all rigged. It's all effed up. So yes, the chaos is hitting, and by design, this will not end well for anybody except those wanting a new monetary system. Because this is the end game, and what's happening is they're destroying the old monetary system, going to implement something new. Now, what are these companies worth that are trading on the Dow when the globalization gets reversed and everybody shuts their border, which is happening right now? Trump announced last night no flights to Europe. He also said no goods will be traded from Europe, and then they backtracked on that. A little too soon for that, but that'll happen too. That's in the Road to Ruta documents out of the Fed. If you read them, you'll say, oh my God, it says that they're going to stop trading between what is it? Gopher Junction, which is a hysterical name for Mexico. Gopher Junction. And the Canadian one was something about the Rocky. I don't know. Go to roadtoruta.com, read the comic book, and read the teacher's guide. It's all in the teacher's guide that trade stops between countries. As a matter of fact, they say one day the color followers will be able to be traded outside of the country. One day. So yes, there's a reason Trump's bringing all troops home, not just Afghanistan. They're bringing all troops. So that's where we are. Dow down 1,800, shocking everybody. Oh my God, you have to throw more money in. Throwing more money into the problem doesn't fix the problem. The problem is the companies that run off the just-in-time delivery system are gone, done. Manufacturing is done in America. Why? Because we get all our parts and all our raw materials from China and Asia and all around the country, and that has ended. When you think about it, asking everybody to be on lockdown, probably the best time to swap out the old monetary system and implement something new and just real. So yeah, this obviously is hysterical. Silver slammed down below $16. Gold down below $1,600. 100-to-1 ratio. If you can find anybody now is the problem. And I'm going to talk to Andy Scheckman today. If you don't have it and are going to try to source it, don't take anybody's order. He doesn't do that anyway. But don't trust any gold or silver dealer that says, okay, I got it for you. It's going to ship on next Tuesday. No. Sorry. This is the time when gold and silver dealers go out of business because nobody has any metal because they rig the price so low. Again, they can rig the price to zero, both of them, if they want. I think when the markets cease working, which is probably pretty soon, people will say, God, I wish I had my silver in my own possession. So you might be too late. I don't know. Whoever you buy your silver from, make sure they can ship it right away. They can't ship it right away, then say, thanks, but I'm going to go down to my local guy. I'm going to go down where I can get my hands on it and give him physical cash for physical metal. That's what markets should be. Not the crazy derivatives that will be. Watch the COMEX today. Last week, it was 1.56 billion ounces of silver traded in one day. Electronic silver derivatives. Those are silver derivatives. Today is going to be a doozy, and what a time for JP Morgan to get out of their short and go long. The criminals are running the show. Oh, by the way, if you have data stored in any cloud, the iCloud, any cloud, third-party storage of anything, metals, cryptos, even your data, even your pictures, even your videos, I think they'll all be gone. What a way to erase history. Control the cloud and then pull the plug. Erase all the data. So if you have anything you want to store for the future system, get it in your own possession. Get yourself a hard drive, download all your documents onto a hard drive, remove it from your computer, and lock it in a Faraday cage. They have little bagged Faraday bags and stuff like that supposedly would resist an EMP. If an EMP hits, it's good night, everything. Mad Max. So I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, silver and gold getting slammed. Again, click of a mouse, they can place the price to zero or place the price to $1 million an ounce. And you'll go, oh my God, I wish I would have loaded up. That's the problem with trying to play their game. Yes, this is probably the last slam. But they could slam it to zero and turn off the market. Shut them down. They can do it with anything. Computers and derivatives are how the game is run. That's why you cannot look at price. Get your metal, get your cryptos, get them in your own possession, and wait out the chaos. You should be sitting on the sidelines. If you bugged out, like Dick Allgaier, my friend Dick Allgaier, he's up and running again. He's posted 2 videos. I miss him. And I get what he did, and I know why. Hawaii is crazy. They're still saying they only have 2 people infected. But here's something out of the Star Advisor, which is their big newspaper. Hawaii Capital Public Access Room is closed due to the connection to Canadian doctor with coronavirus. And it goes through how this Canadian doctor had visited Hawaii for curing cancer patients, met with all kinds of patients, met with all kinds of doctors, but he sat in the very room in Hawaii's capital where citizens go to air their grievances. So no one's allowed in that room. It's insane. They don't talk about the plane he flew home on, Hawaiian Airlines. They don't talk about everybody he came in contact with. Again, Hawaii's still not testing. Barely testing. And that is going to be one of the biggest breakouts, obviously, in America. It's nothing. Washington is nothing compared to what's going on in Hawaii right now. Why? Because it's the largest vacation spot for China and Japan within the U.S. Over 1 million visitors. And these criminal politicians are bad service. Why? Because it's the only economy they have. It's all they got. Tourism. Tourism and pineapples. No diss on Hawaii. It's one of my favorite places in the world with the greatest people in the world. One of them left because he RV'd it and he said, oh my God, I got to get out. How easy is it to shut down Hawaii? Absolutely the easiest place to quarantine on Earth, at least in the United States. You just stop the planes and stop the boats. And that's what's going to happen. All right. And then there's cryptocurrency. Boom, slam, crash, bang, blood in the streets, blah, blah, blah. That's what you get for allowing derivative exchanges in the crypto markets. We need decentralized exchanges. This is what I talked about in Anarchapulco. We need Veritasium implemented, peer-to-peer capital exchanges. But the criminals aren't going to allow that. Look at Bitcoin. I think this is the biggest I've ever seen, the Bitcoin volume to the market cap. So if you own Bitcoin, Satoshi sold his Bitcoin today. Half of all Bitcoin traded hands in the last 24 hours, according to Bitcoin market cap, according to the exchanges. Volume is 51 billion, market cap 110 billion. One half of all Bitcoin ever mined traded hands today. So half of Satoshi's 1 million Bitcoin traded hands. Is that bullshit? Absolutely. Are these exchanges criminal operations trading Ether? No pun intended. Absolutely. Look at Ethereum. $21 billion worth of Ethereum traded hands, and there's only $15 billion of Ethereum. And of course, Litecoin. More than double. In the last 24 hours, more than double amount of Litecoin that's ever been mined traded hands. It's a con, my friends. This is all going to go to zero, probably. Or all going to go to $1 million each per coin, probably. Because it doesn't matter. Computers and derivatives control the price of everything now. You don't need cryptos to slam the price of crypto. You don't need silver, physical silver, to slam the price of silver. Silver's the worst. Silver is the worst. The most manipulated, 150 years of it. Guys like Steve Mnuchin, his buddies in the past that ran the Treasury, Hank Paulson, you name it. Alan Greenspan. Everybody thinks I'm a big fan of his. No, he's a smart motherfucker. He's the best computer programmer on planet Earth for 50 years. But I'm not a fan of rigging markets, even if it's for the good of America, because look what's happening to America now. If you lie, you cheat, you steal, and open free markets, what have you got left? A smoldering pile of shit. And that's where we're all going to end up. And you can blame the market riggers. You can blame Greenspan. You can blame anybody who had their hand on the scale. Jamie Dimon will be a great person to blame. Trump had a huge meeting yesterday with all the banksters. And then this happens today. What do you think he said? You know, Jamie Dimon didn't go. All the heads. Do you remember what happened in 2008, 2009? When all the head of the bankers go in and then they rig the market? Trump had them all in yesterday, probably warning them that, hey, we're going to let some air out of the tires. Will they buy at the absolute low and then run it up? They could. It's done with computers and derivatives. It's not real. It's fake. B of A's shocking warning. The Treasury market is no longer functioning normally. It never has. It hasn't since the early 70s. It's just now you're starting to see it. What functions normally in a rigged market? Nothing. And yes, coronavirus is exploding. These numbers are going to be laughable in the next 4 or 5 days. These are going to be double in 6 days. Total confirmed 127,863. The U.S. is now at 1,323, which is way ahead of what my charting was saying, and we're at the 38 deaths. This is an exponential growth. This number in the next 6 days will be 2,600 with over 80 deaths, and so on and so on. We don't have a cure. We have a lack of testing in the United States. Why? Because we're trying to save the economy. These numbers are going to explode very soon. No, it doesn't mean the death of humanity. It doesn't. But there's things you can do right now to make yourself a little stronger against this thing. Here's an article published March 10th. High doses of vitamin C used to prevent and treat coronavirus infections in China. They're learning what Cliff High told us. High doses of vitamin C. Do it. Do it for your kids. Do it. Tell your friends and family. They'll say that won't. How can high doses of vitamin C cure this brutal disease that's ravaging the world? Because they don't tell you the treatment. They just tell you to be scared and shut down markets to hide their criminality. Take high doses of vitamin C. It's not a cure-all. No, people are still going to die. But you're going to be stronger and better off if you do it. And chaga mushrooms. Chaga mushrooms. Chaga chaga choo choo. There's the song. I'm going to write it today. The chaga mushroom song. Get yourself some chaga mushroom powder. Put it in your coffee. Put it in your milk. Put it anywhere. Sprinkle it on your dinner. I don't care. Eat it. And, of course, we have repo craziness today. They added a new category, screwed up all my charts on the Patreon channel and on the private road. I've been charting this thing for a long time now. Go there and check out the chart because it is shooting off the roof. Over $950 billion needed for tonight to bail out the banks, just so they can last till tomorrow. And here's the deal. I woke up, I looked at this thing, I'm like, it should have been two because they had one expiring. They can't let one expiring, a term repo. So they have to roll that over, and they're rolling over the 25 billion to 45 billion. And look at the oversubscribe. 87 billion was needed, 45 billion was given. There are banks bleeding right now. So that was normal, right? But I'm like, wait, why is there three? You go down, and voila, we have a whole new category of criminality, of bank bailouts. They're offering now 1 month bailouts to the banksters of $50 billion. $50 billion. So I had to add a column. It screwed up my columns. I got to redo my spreadsheet. But I put it up. There's a temporary one up there right now, and it's well over 900 billion needed for tonight. And guess what? Tomorrow, I think maybe it's today. Fed statement came out yesterday. Open Market Trading Desk at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York has released the repurchase operational schedule for the upcoming period. Okay, this is the day that they announced it, and they added a new category. Beginning Thursday, March 12th, and continuing through Monday, April 13th, the desk will offer at least $175 billion in daily overnight repo operations and at least $45 billion in 2-week term operations. Here it is. In addition, the desk will also offer 3 1-month repo operations, with the first operation occurring on Thursday, March 12th. The amount offered for each of these 3 operations is at least $50 billion. Why not just tell the world you have opened the spigot? The spigots are wide open, spraying money everywhere, but it's not going to fix the problem. Spraying money on people doesn't feed them. It doesn't manufacture cars. It doesn't allow them to travel. The entire global just-in-time delivery system has been shut down. It doesn't make your iPhone. I expect iPhones to be gone before the end of March. Completely gone. As in all of them. You want to make some money? Go out and buy all the used iPhones that you trade in for $50. Those might be the last iPhones ever made. I don't think they will be. 5 years from now, we'll probably get over it. This is just the beginning of a long-term problem. This is year 0, as I talked about the other. Anyway, you want to check out what's going on in repos. The best thing, Road to Ruta timeline. Timeline article. Just click on Friday Road Trips. This is for private road members. Go to the archives, and you will find part 1 and part 2 of Ruta's timeline. I'm going to move this up so that you guys can get it right in your face, because my timeline is spot on right now. Spot on. That's amazing. True. Because I did this 3 weeks ago. Who knew that this system would be collapsing? Who knew? It's time. This is the end of the road to Ruta. And there is a glorious future at the other end of this. To get there, yes, it's going to be full of chaos. I'm hoping it happens fast. Some people want a smooth landing. This is a smooth landing. This is what a smooth landing feels like. Pulling the Band-Aid would put a bunch of criminals in jail instantly, crash the banking system, crash the electronic monetary system, shut down all exchanges and reboot them. It's more painful in the short term, but in the long term, it's a glorious future. Why? Because we'll have no more criminal exchanges. We'll have peer-to-peer transactions in stock markets. That's why they shut down Reggie Middleton and Veritasium token. That's why I'm still giving them away while they last with every private road membership. Anyway, think about it. If you aren't on the road to Ruta yet, just on the left side, there's a free subscription to get emails when I post it. And you get a free book. This is Bix. Hang in there. Talk to you soon.